Imagine you wake up tomorrow morning and find a notification on your phone stating that you have $10 million sitting in your bank account. It sounds like the ultimate dream, right? A life of pure luxury, freedom, and endless possibilities. Most of us think this amount is infinite, enough to live like a king until the very end of our days without ever lifting a finger again. But is $10 million actually enough to sustain a truly billionaire-style lifestyle? Or is it just a fleeting moment of comfort that quickly evaporates under the weight of taxes, maintenance, and the ever-growing temptation to spend? Today, we are going to peel back the layers of wealth and look at what $10 million really buys you in the real world. You might be shocked to discover that money behaves very differently once you actually have a large pile of it in your hands. Let us dive deep into the truth about this specific financial milestone. First, let us address the elephant in the room, the tax man. If you receive $10 million as a windfall, the government is not going to let you keep all of it. Depending on your jurisdiction, you could lose 30 to 40% of that sum immediately to various tax obligations. Suddenly, your $10 million has shrunk down to about $6 million. This is the first reality check. People often forget that wealth is not just about what comes in, but what you are allowed to keep. Even after this initial hit, you have to decide where this money goes. Do you keep it all in a checking account? Of course not. You need to invest it, but even the smartest investments come with risks and fees that eat away at your principal. The dream of infinite spending is starting to look a little bit smaller already, isn't it? Let us look at what you can actually buy now. Let us talk about real estate. You might dream of a massive mansion in Beverly Hills or a penthouse in New York City. You start browsing listings and see houses priced at $5 million. You think you can afford it, right? Wrong. Buying a house is only the beginning. There are property taxes, high-end insurance, utility bills for a massive space, and the army of staff required to keep a luxury property running. If you spend $5 million on a home, you have effectively drained half of your remaining capital. Suddenly, you are house poor. You have a beautiful mansion, but your liquid cash is dwindling fast. Wealthy people know that your home is often a liability, not an asset, unless it is producing income. If you want to maintain a lifestyle of luxury, you cannot tie up all your resources in a single physical structure that demands constant money. Now, consider the lifestyle creep. When you have $10 million, you start seeing the world through a different lens. You no longer want to fly economy. Tamil H. Hyatt's tax lockers. Without min, you start booking private jets or first-class international flights, which can cost $20,000 per trip. You start dining at restaurants where the bill for two people hits $2,000 easily. You buy luxury watches that cost $50,000 just because they look nice on your wrist. It is very easy to spend $100,000 a month without even trying hard. If you spend that much every single month, your $10 million will be completely gone in less than a decade. The illusion of wealth is dangerous because it encourages you to spend like you have hundreds of millions, when in reality, you have a finite amount that needs to last for your entire future. Let us look at the investment side of things. To live off $10 million comfortably, you need to generate a safe withdrawal rate. Most financial experts suggest that you should not spend more than 4% of your portfolio per year. If you have $10 million invested wisely, that 4% gives you $400,000 in annual income. Well, now, that sounds like a lot of money to the average person, and it is. You can live very well on $400,000 a year. But is it the billionaire lifestyle you imagined? You are not buying super yachts or private islands on that budget. You are living a high-end upper-middle-class life. You can afford a nice house, good schools for your kids, and travel, but you are not invincible. You are still bound by the laws of basic economics and long-term financial planning. What about the social pressures of having $10 million? Once people know you have money, the dynamic of your relationships changes forever. You will have friends and family members coming to you with business ideas, requests for loans, and tales of woe. Saying no is incredibly difficult. You feel a moral pressure to help, and before you know it, you have given away $1 million to various causes or people. This is the hidden cost of wealth that nobody talks about. You become a target for everyone who thinks your well is bottomless. Protecting your capital requires you to be cold, calculated, and sometimes ruthless. It is a lonely existence when you realize that every interaction is potentially colored by the fact that you possess a significant amount of cash. Money changes people, and it certainly changes how they treat you. Let us talk about the cost of maintaining your health and security. When you are worth $10 million, your time is your most valuable asset. You start paying for convenience. You hire personal assistants, private chefs, and security details. These are not cheap. A full-time security guard can cost you over $100,000 a year. A good personal assistant is another $60,000. These are recurring expenses that you have to pay every single year. You are essentially paying for your own peace of mind. If you do not have these things, you are constantly stressed and overwhelmed. You start to see that the life of the wealthy is actually just a series of paid solutions to common human problems. The more money you have, the more expensive your life becomes, and the more you have to protect what you built. There is also the psychological toll. The anxiety of losing your wealth is often worse than the anxiety of never having it. When you have $10 million, the fear of a market crash becomes a haunting nightmare. You check your portfolio daily. You worry about inflation eroding your purchasing power. You worry about lawsuits and accidents. The freedom you thought you bought is actually a new kind of prison. You spend your days managing your money rather than living your life. This is why many people who hit this milestone end up working even harder than they did before. They realize that $10 million is a great start, but it is not the finish line. It is a stepping stone that requires constant attention, strategy, and a very thick skin to navigate effectively in a volatile world. So, is $10 million a lot of money? In the context of a regular paycheck, it is an absolute fortune. It is more than most people earn in 10 lifetimes. But in the context of extreme wealth, it is barely enough to get into the game. It is the amount that allows you to stop working, provided you are disciplined and smart. It is the amount that grants you the ultimate luxury, the ability to choose how you spend your time. You can choose to write a book, learn a craft, or spend time with your family. That is the true value of $10 million. It is not about the yachts or the private planes. It is about the autonomy. It is the Travit. Ashtar Rai, it is about waking up on a Tuesday morning and deciding that you do not have to answer to anyone. That, my friends, is the only real metric that matters when discussing this level of wealth. In conclusion, $10 million is a life-changing amount of money, but it is not a ticket to endless decadence. It is a responsibility. If you treat it like a limitless bank account, it will betray you. If you treat it like a foundation, it can build a legacy. The question is not what you can buy with $10 million, but rather who you become while managing it. Will you be a slave to your possessions, or will you use your freedom to create something meaningful? The next time you dream about that $10 million balance, remember that the money itself is just paper and numbers. The real power lies in the discipline to keep it, the wisdom to invest it, and the humility to stay grounded. Whether you have $10 or $10 million, the goal remains the same, to live a life that you are proud of. Thanks for watching, and stay wise with your future wealth.